Those who used to sit comfortably at the top, the chosen ones, are seeing their power wane. Losing authority in high places isn't merely a warning. It's the new reality of the system you thought you understood. Whether you're ready or not, you must hear the Fed's information about your money. How you will react when the power changes is more important than whether you will be impacted. As the legal proceedings progress toward public revelation, be ready for desperate countermeasures. Your financial diversion's principal architect is getting close to a key exposure threshold. This person, at the top of the operational framework designed to keep you from your resources, now understands that the safeguards that once protected their actions from repercussion will inevitably fail. Desperate psychological reactions brought on by this realization show themselves as immediate, forceful confrontation. Identify the telltale signs of their panic: unexpected emotional swings with no apparent reason, brief interruptions in electronic gadgets or communication systems, and sudden dreams with strange situations or people from your past. These occurrences indicate frantic efforts to create energetic interference, as traditional safeguards fall short in the face of federal investigation pressure. While institutional safeguards worked well, their collapsing power structures compelled the use of direct tactics that were previously thought to be superfluous. These attempts at energy disturbance reveal your progress as well as their anxiety. Only when traditional opposition is insufficient and judicial processes advance past their ability to influence through the established channels do such measures come into play. The appearance of these straightforward remedies attests to the fact that your financial recovery is imminent and that they acknowledge their unavoidable responsibility for planning your resource diversion. These direct encounter attempts are the last line of defense before the system collapses completely, and their frantic actions validate your success. The depletion of all traditional protective measures is demonstrated by their readiness to risk exposure through traceable energetic activity. This stage, while potentially confusing, marks the end of the restoration process and validates the efficacy of federal procedures that are currently dismantling their operational framework. Divine intelligence functions through certain channels inside the governmental system, acknowledging the messengers as approved agents of your restoration. Certain people serve as your case's appointed conduits. Even though they pose as regular government workers, these agents have distinct energetic signatures that perfectly match the cosmic command to return your depleted resources. In their investigation of the circumstances underlying your financial separation, they exhibit amazing persistence, unexplainable motivation with your predicament, and unusual clarity regarding intricate facets of your case. Instead of using traditional identification, these messengers identify you by subtle energetic indicators. Their intuitive systems come into play when they come across documents related to your circumstances. They find evidence through seemingly random events, connect crucial information through intuitive leaps that defy standard procedural advancement, and feel an inexplicable sense of assurance about the appropriate course of their investigations. Their unconscious role as cosmic actors functioning through a traditional institutional framework is confirmed by this synchronicity. When communication with these messengers takes place, acknowledge their authorized role beyond their official role. Their message is dual in meaning, including procedural details as well as active validation of your verified restoration procedure. Their existence in your life is a physical representation of forces that are ordinarily invisible, yet are systematically pursuing your full financial restoration. These designated agents have influence that goes beyond institutional bounds. They are exceptionally adept at navigating bureaucratic systems, particularly with relation to your issue. When departmental cooperation emerges without conventional resistance, administrative obstacles fall away, and resources are allocated to your case beyond the standard procedural allowance. These operational abnormalities indicate that when required, cosmic authorization will take precedence over traditional constraints in order to carry out the full restoration of your diverted cash flow. Losing influence in high places. The Fed has a message for you regarding your finances. While you've been going about your everyday life, forces that are much out of your line of sight have been following, recording, and assembling evidence. With all of its resources, technology, and reach, the federal machine has discovered something they never wanted made public. Your financial signature shines brightly on displays in secure government buildings, and your name appears in classified documents. Don't get me wrong, this isn't arbitrary. The system that used to protect them is now a sword of justice that is pointed squarely at the people who have mistreated you. You are here for a reason. If you feel the call, answer it. Click Join to unlock exclusive content, deep insights, and a powerful community. This isn't just a membership, it's an awakening. Step into your divine purpose. Join the chosen. Numerous hours have been devoted by federal officers to tracking down the breadcrumbs, making connections, and charting the networks that lead to your resources. Undeniable evidence has been found by these investigators, stern-faced men and women wearing badges of authority, that money traveling through complex routes belongs in your hands. Although the wheels of justice turn slowly, they do so with remarkable precision. Every transaction, forged signature, and altered document is meticulously documented by individuals who cannot be bought, intimidated, or misled. This study has advanced much beyond its first phases. It is currently on the verge of action, with your name prominently displayed as the rightful recipient of a sizable financial recovery. The powerful now shudder. Those who formerly lived in luxury and built their empires on your stolen riches are now sitting awake at night, watching as their foundations crumble. Former allies suddenly find themselves with pressing business abroad. Their phones ring without anyone answering, and their messages remain unread. Once it starts, the unraveling happens quickly. Your money was purposefully rerouted. It never disappeared. The money that was meant for you passed via channels that were built by financial architects whose knowledge favored corruption over justice. To give the impression that these resources had nothing to do with you, they set up offshore accounts, produced phony entities, produced deceptive documentation, and took advantage of legal loopholes. These days, federal forensic accountants meticulously dismantle these systems, tracking each digital penny as it travels. They show how your money was stolen through shell corporations, resurfaced under false pretenses of trusts, grew through investments, and finally ended up in the accounts of the people who planned this complex scam. This operation's magnitude makes its importance clear. They wouldn't surround something small with such ornate defenses. The resources that have been taken from you are valuable beyond measure, which is why extraordinary measures have been taken to deprive you of what is properly yours. The intricacy of their techniques demonstrates the extent of the theft. For those who know where to look, these financial crimes leave impeccable evidentiary trails. Every transfer necessitates paperwork, every transaction leaves permanent imprints, and every signature offers samples for comparison. Nothing really vanishes in the digital age. It just waits to be found by the right people who are motivated and have the right authority. Preliminary documentation has already been generated by government personnel. There is a lot of evidence in your file that was gathered through careful research. The material that is waiting to be delivered to you contains specifics regarding resources that are legally yours and were systematically stolen by people whose identities will surprise you. Only the visible part of the enormous underlying action is represented by this message. Every day, legal processes take action on your behalf. Accounts freeze without public knowledge. Court orders execute silently. The workings of the legal system are mostly invisible until official correspondence is sent to you personally. When this encounter takes place, react exactly as directed and adhere to the specified protocols. In the recovery process, the established procedures have distinct functions. Your patience enhances the efficacy of these well-planned legal actions intended to return what is legitimately yours, and your participation expedites the restoration of what was taken. The advanced machinery that was built to hide your assets is now completely visible. From the first diversion through several stages of money laundering to the ultimate distribution among conspirators, federal agents have charted the entire operation. This network uses both digital and physical means to hide the ownership and origin of significant resources, and it crosses continents and involves numerous financial institutions. Your legitimate assets entered this system through fraudulent documentation, passed through ostensibly legitimate businesses, were divided into smaller amounts across multiple accounts, changed currencies, were converted into property, digital assets, and precious metals, and finally surfaced as ostensibly legitimate holdings under the control of the individuals who orchestrated this theft. This was the way the laundering operation worked, through layers of complexity. If your heart overflows with God's blessings, let that love shine. Click the super thank you button and give $20 or more to plant seeds of faith that will impact countless lives. Your generosity reflects His abundance. Be a vessel of His grace and watch His kingdom flourish through you. Digital timestamps, authentication records, and verification procedures are examples of trace evidence left by each transaction in this money laundering operation. Banks keep unchangeable records, and the blockchain never forgets. If a qualified investigator has the right authorization to examine protected documents, they can identify patterns in even the most meticulously planned financial crimes. What they thought was hidden is no longer hidden. The process of reclamation has started. Property acquired with your stolen resources is now subject to asset forfeiture procedures by federal authorities. This includes high-end real estate, investment portfolios, business interests, and valuable personal property. The goal of these legal actions is to return these assets to their rightful owner, you. This procedure is carried out with meticulous accuracy. Every day, federal marshals serve official notices, court orders are issued, and properties are formally designated as being susceptible to forfeiture claims. Accounts are frozen while ownership issues are being resolved. The legal system, which is slow to start but relentless once it starts, now works only for you. Although most of these proceedings take place behind closed doors, the repercussions are evident to those who are impacted. Keep an eye out for unexpected business sales, sudden lifestyle changes among some well-known people, and sudden real estate listings at discounted prices. These outward manifestations show the internal strain brought on by continuous forfeiture proceedings related to your case. As the strain builds, strategic warnings protect you. People who are exposed will try to make direct contact through unexpected means. Old contacts will abruptly resume communication, and mutual acquaintances will send messages suggesting a private resolution. These are desperate countermeasures. These strategies are premeditated attempts to lessen their losses at your ongoing expense. Danger wrapped in opportunity. These influential people will make half-hearted admissions and make what appear to be generous offers. Their well-constructed stories cover up the entire extent of their acts against you while acknowledging small infractions. Even if their settlement offers seem large, they are really a small portion of what you will eventually receive back via the judicial process. Your best defense against these strategies is awareness of them. Every offer affirms the strength of your position rather than their generosity, and every approach conveys fear rather than peace. The benefits of your patience now, while federal procedures finish, are substantially greater than those of private settlements. Instead of protecting them, the system now serves your interests. You benefit from disciplined communication right now when government investigations are ongoing. Your attention to detail shows strategic intelligence instead of acquiescence. Particularly, the authorities in charge of your case advise against discussing the pending procedures too much. This procedure safeguards your future cash recovery as well as the integrity of the legal system. Your calm stillness is now met with growing irritation from those used to dominating stories. They expected public allegations, emotional outbursts, and actions they could describe as unstable or untrustworthy. Because of your calculated restraint, they are forced to react from positions of uncertainty rather than from prepared reactions, confusing their prepared defenses. This quiet does not mean that nothing is being done. Behind this strategic calm, powerful forces work diligently every day to further your interests. Investigators gather more evidence, build better cases, and find more conspirators to distract your resources if there is no public drama. Your advantage is now multiplied by your discipline. You're not here by chance. Feel the pull, tap join to unlock truth, purpose, and a tribe that gets it. This is more than a membership. It's your calling. The whole accounting later surpasses all expectations. As more diverted resources are discovered during the inquiry, preliminary estimates of your financial restoration continue to be revised upward. As investigators get access to limited data, hidden accounts, and hidden assets, the first estimate, which was significant because it only reflected the visible portion of what truly belonged to you, now gives way to the full amount. Victims of complex financial crimes are entitled to special treatment, including protected status for recovered assets, structured settlements, and tax benefits. In addition to offering improved protection against future attempts to deprive you of your resources, these methods optimize the effective value of your restoration. The best possible financial outcome is guaranteed by federal programs created especially for circumstances similar to yours. Through formal channels, you will be contacted by specialized consultants who will explain these rules and help you make implementation decisions that are most suited to your particular circumstances. These experts will offer approved guidance. They were chosen especially for their experience in circumstances like yours. Keep an informed watch on the news. Your circumstances are closely related to public revelations of financial irregularities and regulatory investigations involving well-known individuals. The coordinated enforcement actions that resulted from the same inquiry that found your resources were being diverted include these seemingly unrelated incidents. The faces that are shown are only the exposed part of a much bigger procedure. These indictments target people from a variety of industries, including politicians, business executives, and entertainment figures. What unites them? Despite being obscured from public records but evident in classified investigative files, is their involvement in the network that profited from your diverted resources. Their public humiliation acts as a warning to those in similar circumstances, as well as a form of justice. Take note of certain trends in these situations. such as comparable charges, corresponding time periods, and related financial institutions. These similarities can seem random to ignorant onlookers, but they are the result of concerted efforts to destroy the entire system that allowed your resources to be stolen. Every indictment adds weight to the case as a whole and puts more pressure on the other players. An ideal transition is ensured by preparation. Beyond simple financial planning, strategic management is needed for the significant resources that are coming back under your control. This degree of wealth functions according to distinct rules, possibilities, and principles. To properly manage assets in these tremendous quantities, specialized knowledge becomes crucial. You will be able to tell the difference between genuine help and opportunistic tactics thanks to your instinctive judgment. Numerous financial services offerings aimed at your altered situation will be made in the upcoming weeks. Reputable advisors with the right credentials and case-specific authority will reach you through approved means, instead than focusing on the quick deployment of recently repaired assets. Their presentation stresses structure and security. This financial recovery comes as a cosmic correction of intentional disruption of your destined resource flow, not only as compensation. The return of wealth to your control signifies a realignment with your legitimate position. Resources are now appropriately flowing toward their intended receiver after previously being diverted through complex systems. This restoration lays the groundwork for your actual aim, which was previously impeded by fictitious financial constraints. This financial recovery is only the outward sign of a far deeper global realignment. On a deeper level, what manifests as regained resources is the return of an energy birthright that has been long neglected. Beyond the realm of common experience, the return of physical currency to your control is a concrete manifestation of cosmic equilibrium. The people who planned this distraction saw something in you that was worth a great deal of work to stifle. Their complex systems that target your particular resources show that they were aware of a potential that they were trying desperately to control. They witnessed what you might not have yet realized about yourself. Extraordinary strength that necessitated significant financial restraint in order to be suppressed. Recognize how terrified they are. The magnitude of the operations they carried out against your cash flow indicates the magnitude of the power they found within you. Ordinary crooks use simple schemes to target numerous victims, while common thieves use simple methods. The complex, long-running, multi-layered systems designed especially to divert your resources are a clear reflection of the incredible potential they frantically attempted to limit through material constraints. Now, their system breaks down, not by accident, but by divine timing that coincides with your readiness to accept the tangible prosperity and the associated responsibility. The resources come back to you just when your growth permits appropriate use, in line with a greater goal that was earlier thwarted by willful limitation. The stars themselves line up with this return of your monetary birthright. Celestial mechanics work with flawless accuracy. When the man-made obstacles put in place to stop the flow of your resources crumble under the weight of what appear to be routine court cases, ancient powers come to life. Cosmic involvement is concealed by what seems to be a bureaucratic procedure, which is carried out precisely when your spiritual growth achieves the maturity required to use recovered power efficiently. Federal inquiries, court cases, and financial recovery seem like earthly processes carrying out a divine command. These commonplace methods act as short-term tools for fundamental rectification, re-establishing flow that has been purposefully distorted. Unbeknownst to them, the authorities currently acting on your behalf are agents of universal equilibrium, enforcing cosmic judgment against those who obstructed your intended course via human institutions. Divine orchestration is seen in the timing. Observe how these processes quicken just when world systems undergo a previously unheard-of transition. This synchronization exemplifies flawless cosmic calibration. Your resources come back precisely when circumstances allow them to be deployed most effectively toward goals that go well beyond your own comfort zone. This alignment happens through deliberate universal action rather than by accident, guaranteeing your empowered involvement at this pivotal point in the evolution of the group. Your greater responsibility now awaits you. The restored resources offer operational capability that was previously denied due to intentional financial limitations, in addition to personal comfort. Through the artificial limitation of your material means, this financial power allows you to take action on scales that were previously unattainable, influence that was previously prohibited, and impact that was before prevented. Understand that the real goal of this repair is to strategically use these resources in accordance with cosmic intention rather than to spend them frivolously. At this crucial juncture, the universe rebalances your financial situation not just as restitution for transgression, but also as the essential empowerment for a particular function that only you can carry out. Together with these significant resources, your distinct energetic signature generates a capability that was formerly obstructed by targeted financial suppression and is crucial for collective growth. Determination beyond standard financial planning is necessary for the strategic utilization of these regained resources. Every allocation choice has implications that go beyond the immediate outcome. Your instinctive wisdom offers crucial information about how to appropriately use these significant resources toward goals that are consistent with your actual role. Greater resources necessitate greater awareness, which was previously impeded by limited resources. The comparable increase of consciousness is necessary for the effective management of regained power as your financial constraints dissipate. Develop an openness to direction that goes beyond common sense, gaining the knowledge required for the best use of these significant resources. This restoration's timing aligns exactly with outside circumstances that are best suited to maximize the impact of your recently activated talents. International systems change. Long-standing institutions become unprecedentedly unstable, and chances for major action arise precisely when your replenished resources allow you to act efficiently on the necessary scale. Your empowerment is supported by planetary configurations. Cosmic forces especially connect with your financial restoration, generating an intensified energetic environment that encourages audacious action right after resource recovery. When paired with your recently restored financial capacity, the current arrangement offers a unique chance for leveraged influence. These heavenly alignments take place cyclically over enormous time periods. This exact moment demonstrates the deliberate cosmic planning that underlies these apparently routine court cases. Those who redirected your funds were aware of this possible connection and made a special effort to stop your powerful involvement during this crucial time. Their complex attempts to cut you off from these resources show that they understand what can happen when your evolved capabilities and your lawful means come together during this strategic window of time that is now opening up in front of you. Defense systems become outdated. In your freshly restored reality, old habits formed during times of artificial constraint are useless. Once financial recovery is complete, security concerns that were reasonable when resources were limited become superfluous.